Everybody, AWOL here, joined by Ross A. Dillon, and welcome to the Digital Drop Live. You're on Twitter every single weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. We're making working from home simple every single episode, and today we're talking about landing that first consulting client. And so many of you guys out there I know are creators. You're thinking about live streaming for a living. You want to do these content creation initiatives as your job. You want to do that full time. And like we keep talking about over and over and over again, the way that 9 out of 10 creators actually go full time, like us, is by doing consulting and getting clients and getting a nice supplemental kind of salary like income coming in, paying the bills, making sure you have stability so you can do things that you love, like, I don't know, doing this podcast. Right, Ross?
Right? Absolutely. This is exciting, man, because you've got some interesting methods. We actually both have a little bit different of approach on how to pick up clients. So this is really cool.
Yeah.
But I want to start out with yours. What is your strategy for actually going out and picking up clients? Like back when you had to, I know now they just kind of come to you, which is awesome because you did this, what we're about to talk about in the beginning. So just start off, talk about, your portfolio and how you go about reaching out and finalizing, getting that signature on the paper that says, all right, we're working together now.
Okay, sounds good. I'm going to talk about finding the clients and kind of the different method that you and I have. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream at all, give us a retweet and a like. Please help us get the word out because we're trying to help everybody. Millions of people are registering for unemployment right now, and we want to just help you make money. So my method is bringing people inbound is what it's called in marketing, where I create content on the internet. I build my online profile so that I'm searchable, and then people actually come to me and recruit me. I very rarely reach out to anyone to get new gigs. I follow up with people that I have spoken with in the past, but they pretty much come to me and they offer me gigs anywhere from digital marketing gigs, production gigs, coaching and advisory gigs. And I'm constantly having to turn people away in terms of consulting clients. And let me just show you a couple things I'm doing on the screen. I'm just going to switch to our screen share here, Ross, just to show just a little bit of like the nuts and bolts and practical stuff that our audience can do. I don't like just talking theory on this stuff. I like showing what we are doing as a team to actually get gigs. And my LinkedIn profile is something that I keep talking about. And today, what I want to talk about is just a few basic things you can do on your LinkedIn to get people to come to you and recruit you. So first of all, what you want to do on LinkedIn, if you're not already on LinkedIn, you need to get on there right now. Resumes are going away. This is the future. This is not just the future. This is the right now. There's a 500 million people on LinkedIn right now using it every month. Resumes are gone. If you're trying to work from home, like LinkedIn is everything. So you need to write an SEO rich description. As you can see, mine is preposterously packed with search, terms like video network and production executive and coaching and creative and largest XYZ. And it talks about my experience in my description. So I'm very searchable for all of the clients that I want to come find me and book me can find me because I've packed my freaking profile with 1 million different search terms. Another thing you need to do is put in examples of your work on LinkedIn in your featured section. People come to my profile and message me all the time saying, hey, I took a look at that video in your profile or your gear guide, or I listened to your podcast. Somebody literally just contacted me last night at midnight saying, I listened to your podcast. I want to book you to help me grow on Facebook gaming. It's because they found it on my LinkedIn profile a lot of the time. So you put your actual examples of your actual work here in your featured section on your profile. And then another really important thing is to fill out your entire work history with more search SEO stuff for every single job you've done, every executive job I've done, advisory role I've done. It's got a paragraph description from each. Now you might be thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, this is so boring. Why are you talking about this? 98% of people on LinkedIn won't even do what I just told you. So if you do that, you're now ahead of 98% of people. You are in the top 2% of people on LinkedIn in terms of you actually trying to get consulting gigs. Cool. Here's the next thing. I'm going to do it right now. Ross, we've talked about this before, but right here, I've made myself open for providing services, this tab that everybody has on LinkedIn, brand consulting and marketing consulting. you can enable the providing services tab on LinkedIn, and recruiters will magically show up and start recruiting you. I've had 2 high-profile recruiting agencies contact me since I turned that on 30 days ago. I'm now in their database, and they are finding me jobs. I don't have to try to find jobs anymore. They're finding me jobs. You can just turn this on and go get jobs that way. And the other part that we're going to do right now is showing recruiters that you're open to job opportunities. So there are thousands and thousands of recruiters that pay to use LinkedIn to find people like you that are watching right now, graphic designers, video editors, social media managers, side hustlers of every type. They're paid to find you. So make yourself discoverable by putting in those search result related items, and then go ahead and put here the type of work that you're open to, and whether it's full-time, contract, part-time, whatever. And you can make it so that your current recruiter can't even see that you're looking for a job. You can just do only recruiters. And if you want everybody on LinkedIn to see it because you don't have a job right now or you don't care, you can put all LinkedIn members, but you can do only recruiters if you'd like. Okay, so only recruiters can see you if you're trying to get out of that crap job. You put in the job titles you want here. I'll put like VP marketing because those are the types of things people hire me. Vice president marketing. There you go. And then I would click add to profile right here. And there you go. And then you can do job alerts, and it'll give you job alerts if anything comes in. Just like that. Okay. So you do that on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I got a question real quick.
Come pouring in. Yep. Go ahead.
Pull up your LinkedIn page again real quick. And this is why I love doing this podcast, because I'm learning stuff and asking questions that I didn't know. It's interesting. Your about section. Now you've actually, because in LinkedIn, you list your jobs, literally down at the bottom. They have a whole section for that, but you're also doing it in your about section.
That is correct. I'm also doubling up on the SEO is one thing. And another thing is, you want to show, there's a couple different things here. So in your about section on LinkedIn and any social media profile where you're trying to land consulting gigs, you get one chance. Maybe they give you 20 seconds, maybe not, to find out who you are. And so the about section's at the very, very top of your profile. So what they're going to look at when they land at your page, they're going to look at your avatar first. Is it a professional photo? Do they like you? That's just decisions people make. If they pass that test, cool. The next thing that they're going to look at is your banner. Do you actually have one? 9 out of 10 profiles on LinkedIn don't even have one. Okay, if you can get a professionally designed one, then that's check number 1, check number 2. Okay, you've passed check number 1 and check number 2. Check number 3 is they're going to look at your job title that you currently have. And we're going to get to about section. Trust me, it's number 4. But your job title, if you have an impressive job right now, put that as your job title. If you don't have an impressive job right now, put the job you want to have here as your job title, not the one you currently have. If you don't have the job that you don't like, you put the one you want to have. So if I wanted to be an executive producer in Hollywood, I would put right here, Hollywood executive producer as my title. You might be like, hey, well, you're not a Hollywood executive producer. Why would you do that? Because it makes me discoverable as a Hollywood executive producer. LinkedIn is not just a resume. It's a search engine for people to search you and book you and give you money for working from home. Think about it that way. So make yourself searchable for the things that you want to do. Okay, those are the first 3 things. Then the 4th thing, as you can see, isn't the rest of your LinkedIn profile or any of that other garbage. It's your about section. And your about section might be where they stop. If you don't have an interesting one paragrapher here at the top that catches people's attention of your about section, then they're gone. So you need to have an interesting summary of who you are. So I'm just going to read mine out loud so you can kind of understand how much impressive stuff you need to pack in here. So Andrew Wall is a digital marketing and video production executive with over a decade of experience coaching creative professionals to success. So if that's the only thing you ever read, you understand that I'm in digital marketing. I know how to do video production. I am an executive with management experience. I've done it for over 10 years, and I'm all about leadership and coaching people in one sentence. You see how much value I packed into that first sentence? So you need to make an incredible first sentence on your about section, which is super important. Then if they're hooked from that first sentence, then they'll actually read the rest of it down here. rather than scrolling through your profile. Real talk. What is one of the most boring documents to read? A resume is one of the most boring documents to read. So if a recruiter or any client or anyone else can avoid reading your job experience on your LinkedIn and like having to scroll down and look at your regular resume and your timeline of your entire life, like they will. So put it in the about section so you can give them all the value up front and you let them know everything you're all about up front. And then they'll just straight up hit the message button and they'll use one of their recruiter credits or their message credits on LinkedIn to try to hire you. I would show you my inbox, but I'd be violating like privacy of people that have sent me messages. But just in the last 30 days, I've had 2 executive recruiters contact me, and I've had 9 creators contact me to book me. And I've had 1 new media and tech firm contact me to open up a new line of business with them, all through LinkedIn. One of those, Ross, you and I are working on. So that's all just because I set up my LinkedIn profile and I made myself searchable.
Right. Yeah, this is great.
I didn't reach out to anybody, guys. I'm not applying for jobs. I'm not typing up Word documents. I'm not walking up to brick and mortar businesses. They're all coming to me. So this really, really works, guys.
That's step number 1, getting them to come to you. And you can do that, obviously, by everything that you just listed. How important is, and this is something that I admittedly don't do, as probably 98% of the people on LinkedIn also don't do. How important is posting content to your LinkedIn page?
Very important.
Right.
It's
yeah. I mean, clearly,
important.
like actually, like self-written articles, work that you've done in the past. Yes. You upload as well as content, your portfolio as well, even though it's all kind of right there, but as like a separate document. I've seen a couple of people do that. Is there any advantage to that?
Yes. So on your profile here at the top, let's say you're a graphic designer. Make sure your portfolio is here at the top of your profile, like in this main spot right here, your main portfolio. People can go check that out. And then you can put any additional work that you have in these other slots here too, like individual photos or designs that you've done here. But your portfolio should be right here. Your video portfolio, your graphics portfolio. Even if you're a brand or an agency or a consultant, a portfolio of clients you've served, put it right here in this first spot. The free thing that people can look at to see how good you are at what you do should be right here in this number 1 featured spot on your profile, 100%. And in terms of posting content, I should be posting more, to be honest, but I do post. I have to go through here. I've been thumbs upping thing. Oh, I don't want to look at that feed. Well, I'm not going to make you look at this while I fumble to go find my own post, but I post my videos on LinkedIn. I post articles on LinkedIn, and I regularly engage with other people's threads and posts on LinkedIn, executives in my industry, so that my name is constantly out there and I'm constantly top of mind within my industry. And no matter what industry you're in, they're on LinkedIn. There's more than 500 million active users on LinkedIn. And so if anybody's like trying to advance their career, they're on LinkedIn. And if you're not on LinkedIn, you're falling behind in your career. And 10 years from now, you're going to go, why the hell is everybody making more money than me? Why the hell did Susie get a raise and a promotion when I didn't? Or why the hell did this guy get hired instead of me? It's because they were on LinkedIn and their digital game was stronger than yours and you got beat.
Essentially so. Okay. So we just spent 20 minutes on LinkedIn. So I want to move kind of fast to get to the rest. We have Upwork. Okay. We have Upwork and Fiverr, which are very similar to LinkedIn in the sense that you put your portfolio, your quote unquote resume, you have an about section on all of these. Have you ever, you don't necessarily even need to use Upwork, do you?
No.
Okay. Yeah. I figured as much. But it almost works the same exact way. Like I said, I'll just move through this real quick. It works the same exact way. You can actually have people send out and they will request that you send them a proposal for a job that they're going to. They have a list of jobs that you can go send proposals to. And the same thing is with Fiverr. But the one, and by the way, we do have a show progression list because we're total professionals here. The one on the list that you have me intrigued by is Reddit.
Yes.
Can you go into detail on finding clients and consulting work through Reddit? This is amazing. I got to hear this.
I don't want to talk about Fiverr and Upwork and all this crap because everybody knows about Fiverr and Upwork and everybody knows where you can apply for a job. So I like telling you guys about where you aren't thinking about how you can get a job. So Reddit is a place that you can get a job. Reddit is not just for memes. It's not just for shit posting and whatever. So let me just show you. I'm going to go to a random one. We'll see if it's there. Like the YouTuber subreddit is one I brought up recently. But the YouTuber subreddit is one place, and it's just an example where people that are doing certain things on the internet are going to request work of other people, and you can network with people that are looking for work through LinkedIn. And so this particular subreddit for YouTubers, and there's one for everything. There's a subreddit for everything. People will request work from others through this subreddit. And those work requests, they'll be like, hey, I'm looking for an editor. I can pay $50 a video. Is anybody looking for, does anybody have any good leads or what have you? People also ask for advice on various things on subreddits, and you can give them incredible advice, and then they'll listen to you, and then they will DM you on Reddit. So if you are an expert on a particular field, let's say it's cooking. I'm just going to pull up the cooking subreddit. Then here you go. Here's a new cook's health and advice mega thread. And in this thread, you'll be able to network with other cooks. You'll be able to network with restaurants, people in the industry, and build relationships there and end up getting people into your DMs on Reddit. There are DMs on Reddit. And what you want to do is find influential people on Reddit, get them into your DMs, and then you can sell them on your services after you've built trust with them. I've had about 35 different creators reach out to me on LinkedIn to try to book me through LinkedIn, because on various subreddits I've done AMAs, and I've replied to so many threads regarding creator stuff, gaming creator stuff, that they ended up reaching out to me individually and asking me questions in DMs, and then it led to them asking me what my consulting rates are. So many threads, for example, on the Mixer subreddit, just another thing. People will ask like, what should the name of my stream be? Or I'm having issues with audio, or my blah, blah, blah is functional, but what do I do? And et cetera, et cetera. And if you can answer people's questions in your field of work, they will come back to you and they'll ask you more questions. And when somebody starts asking you questions, guess what that is? Consulting. Next item.
Ooh, that's good. Now, obviously, with Reddit, you don't want to go on there and just make a post. Hey, looking for a job. You come hire me, because that's probably going to be removed right away. Correct.
Everybody is trying to get a job, and every idiot's like, hey guys, here's my resume. Here, let me know if you'd like to do the hires and hire me. Like, that's a garbage strategy. All of the strategies that work in terms of getting people to come to you and book you for a job involve you helping them first for free, either through free content you're releasing on the internet, or by just replying to them to help them on Twitter or whatever. And then after you build the relationship, then they'll want to book you. That's how I've gotten literally all of my clients I currently have, from my 6-figure executive job to the other tech and media clients, to the creators and what have you. It's all because of the free content I've released on social media, the questions I've answered on Reddit, the different posts I've done on LinkedIn. I followed up with them and I answered their questions for free and was helpful. And then they said, look, I just want to work with you. What's your rate? And then I tell them my rate, and they're like, okay. It's that simple.
Okay, so let's start there. So you tell them your rate. How do you negotiate the contract? You send them a proposal, or do you let them send you a proposal?
You know the answer to that. How about this? Ross Dillon.
I know.
When you're working with a contractor, when you're a consultant, which you are, do you want the client to send you a contract and set the terms, or do you want to set the terms? Ross A. Dillon.
I always set the terms. Now, listen, I negotiate on price.
Hell
because,
yeah.
The field that I work on, I work towards a certain niche. I go towards comedians. That's my market. Very specific niche. And the comedians that need the help in social media marketing, where I do my consulting, they're not the ones that are making a ton of money. The people at the top of the chain in the comedy industry, they don't need my help. So I have to be able to negotiate. I have to be able to come down and lower my price, but I know my skill set is good and I can help them convert. But finding a niche, to me, that is my specific way of finding it, because when you, because especially in an industry, not necessarily comedians, but very specific niche, like AWOL used to do, well, still does a lot of gaming. That's a very specific niche because there's so many people trying to make it in that field, so many people that need help. So another idea is, find that specific niche, find that specific small group of people that need your services, that you can provide, that you can legitimately help, and market yourself towards them. Start reaching out to them, whether it be on social media, whether it be, searching through Upwork, Fiverr, LinkedIn for positions. Find your niche and go with it.
I agree. You got to focus on one particular sector. That's right. And by looking at places like Reddit on social media and seeing where the conversations are, that can really help you out in understanding where people need help. Another great site that is totally outside of the realm of what people normally think of, and that's why you guys tune into our podcast, is Quora. Quora is literally, the website where people ask questions about things they don't know. And, I played around with Quora a little bit. This might blow you away. I spend a lot of time on the internet, so my profile's out of date now, but I answered, 75 questions on Quora related to my field of work. And I booked people through this too. 75 questions. And I think I got like hundreds of thousands of views on Quora by just answering questions on there. It's pretty insane. Let me look at my stats real quick. My lifetime stats. I answered 75 questions and then 111,000 views on my questions that I answered as an expert. Just me typing in answers to common questions about technology, about whatever it is. So Quora is a website that also has hundreds of millions of people using it. And so what you can do is you can go find the questions that people are asking. You can just search Quora. Let's say like, how do I grow on Twitter? Let's say you want to be a social media guy, right? How does Twitter earn money? What is the best way to use Twitter? There we go. What is the best way to use Twitter? And so what you can do is you can create a better answer than this person who's the number one answer by doing a video. And then you'll pop up and people will watch you instead because nobody wants to read this person's stupid article. And then you'll pop up to the top and you'll get thousands of views instead of them. And then people will slide into your DMs and book you to grow their Twitter account. So that's yet another way to get gigs. You might be thinking, God, I need that gig now. I understand. So, obviously, if you need money right this second, waiting for people to come to you is tough. I think that by doing methods like this, you'll find that the gigs will come in way faster than you ever anticipated, because this is how everybody finds everything. The internet is how they find everything. And if you're not searchable on the internet, even on sites like Quora for answering questions in a particular field, then you won't be found. So if you're like, I need a job now, but I'm not willing to do any of this, it's like, but this is how everybody finds everything. So why aren't you in there
literally
answering people's questions about your field of work?
And video is very important too. It's insanely important, especially when talking about if you're trying to, establish yourself on LinkedIn or it's the other social media sites like Twitter and Facebook by, making professional videos of yourself talking about your niche. Video content, it's been estimated by multiple social media analytics that like 75% of all content by 2021 will be video. So you might as well get ahead of that now. Start getting comfortable right now being on camera, because that more than a graphic, more than a written article like AWOL just said, video is going to help put you over the top. It's going to help put you above competition. Get on it now.
Right. Yep, that's right. And real quick, couple power minutes here. I got to go. Actually, got to go to work. We have to go do consulting for people. But one thing I want to talk about, Ross, you've talked about this in the past. When you're trying to set your rate as a consultant, what should you be thinking about in 1 minute? Quick advice for people based on the contracts that you've signed as a consultant.
Time is the number one thing. If you're picking up a client, you better be prepared to also do the math on how much time it's going to take you to do that amount of work compared to how much you're getting paid. And then if that doesn't match up, then you better raise your price or lower the amount of work. Because if you're pulling in a client for $500 a month and it ends up being 30 hours a week, like, you can't do that. You're not going to be able to make a living doing that. That's just impossible.
It's true. So I recommend, as a consultant, a lot of people like to go hourly. I recommend staying away from hourly. And I like what Ross is saying. You think about what the gig is going to take in terms of the number of hours that you're going to have to put into it. And then you calculate, if they hired a full-time employee to do it, what would that full-time employee essentially be making per hour? And then bump your rate 30 to 50% higher than that.
Right.
So let's say, for example, it would cost $10 an hour for them to hire somebody in the office. For the same job, you should be quoting them $13 or $15 an hour as a consultant. Right. You just should be charging a lot more, because consultants always charge more because they have a lot more volatility. They don't have security in their job, and they don't get health insurance and other benefits. So always charge more as a consultant. And I recommend doing one or two things with your pricing. One, do the jobs for free, or two, charge a professional rate. But this idea of going somewhere like, I'm going to charge people lowball cheap rates to try to get more clients and go real cheap, don't do that. Either do it for free.
It doesn't work.
To build your portfolio and to build your clients. Yep. Or do it for the proper rate. But don't do this in between, like, I'm going to do $5 designs. I'm going to do $10 designs. And like, just do it for free instead to build your portfolio. You'll get more clients. You'll have more freedom, and you'll feel less obligation. And you don't want to be perceived as a cheap consultant, because a cheap consultant is generally viewed as a low quality consultant, right? Be very careful with that. People that come to me, people that come to me with an hourly rate, they're like, yeah, I charge $15 an hour to do this service that people normally quote 50 for. I'm like, what's wrong here? They could be the best ever at that job, but why are they lowballing so much? I probably am not going to hire them because they haven't done their research on how much the job should actually be paying. So that's that. So the last part is it's a huge factor in delivering results. Ross, why do we have that here? Why do you need to deliver results? You already got paid.
Because the contract ends at some point. That's essentially that. You better deliver results when you get it, or else they're not going to re-up with you. And then and then future employers are going to start asking questions. Okay, so this guy, let's just say, going back to what you said, this guy did a lowball number, and then the contract wasn't renegotiated. Would you hire that person? No. You're not going to hire them. No. You better deliver results. You better go above and beyond what you told them you were going to do. And that way, not necessarily, especially, depending on the situation, if the results are typically going to be a little lower, like say they don't understand how social media marketing works, it takes time to build that. But if they see you going above and beyond, they're going to listen to you. They're going to see that you're dedicated. They're going to see that you're passionate. And that's somebody that everybody wants to work with.
Boom. That's right. We're going to end it right there because Ross and I need to go literally take care of our consulting clients. I'm like 2 minutes late for a call, so I got to go. So thank you so much for listening to the Digital Drop Podcast. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. And in future, there goes my wife. And in future episodes, we'll be here right here on Twitter at Digital Drop Pod on Twitter. Come ask your questions to us live, or tweet your questions to us at Digital Drop Pod, and we'll address them on future episodes. We also upload the replays on our YouTube channel. It's called the Digital Drop Podcast. Just find it on YouTube. You'll find the video replays. Also, audio versions of every episode are on every podcasting platform. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow on the next episode of the Digital Drop Live, where we make working from home simple. Goodbye, guys.